Good afternoon, the world at noon. In Nigeria, Osun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal grants permission to paste copy of petition on notice board of the tribunal. Singapore to end ban on gay sex. Daughter of Putin Ali killed in Moscow blast. The National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) has extended revocation of operational licenses of 53 broadcasting stations owing 2.6 billion naira license renewal fee to Wednesday. This is contained in a statement by its Director General, Mr. Balarabe Shehu Ilela. He said the Commission had extended the deadline to Wednesday following appeals from affected stations. To be recalled that the NBC had given the debtor stations 24 hours to renew their licenses or risk closure. This action has attracted criticism from stakeholders in the industry. In the meantime, Broadcasting Organization of Nigerian born has appealed to the NBC to withdraw the shutdown and revocation orders and to allow the implementation of the debit recovery templates already submitted to it. In a letter of appeal addressed to the Director General of the NBC, by the Executive Secretary of BORN, Dr. Yemisi Bangboshe, the organization said it is seeking for further understanding with the 54 stations listed for shutdown and license revocation. The organization premised its appeal on the Ulster economic situation, stating that it is not unmindful of the fact that it was statutory for them to pay license fees, but that it is a known fact that media income has seriously nosedived as a result of the global impact of COVID-19 on the general economy, which had negative consequences on the income of broadcast media houses. Also, the Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE) has expressed worry over the shutting down of 53 broadcast stations by the National Broadcasting Commission for allegedly failing to pay their renewal license fees. NGE, in a statement by its president, Mr. Mustafa Issa, and General Secretary, Mr. Iyobosa Iwongaren, said that the action, if not reversed, will lead to the loss of thousands of jobs in a country where jobs are scarce. Still on reactions on NBC's plan to revoke broadcasting license, the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) described Friday's revocation of the operational licenses of Silverboard TV, AIT, Repower FM, and Rhythm FM, amongst others, as hasty. NUJ National President Mr. Chris Iziguzo, in a statement, said the decision by the industry regulator to revoke the licenses of 53 broadcast stations nationwide over indebtedness to the Commission was ill-advised. Also reacting, Nigerian Media Rights Agenda, in a statement by head of its legal department, Ms. Obioma Okonkwo, said by the revocation of the broadcast licenses of so many stations for alleged non-payment of their license fees, the NBC was prioritizing its desire to make money off the broadcasters over the interests of citizens, as the ultimate effect of its action was to deprive millions of Nigerians access to information, as well as their right and ability to freely express themselves through these stations. In the meantime, the Radio, Television, Theatres Art Workers Union of Nigeria, RETAW, has also faulted the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) over the revocation of licenses of 52 broadcast stations, urging the regulator to rescind its decision. In a statement by the union's General Secretary, Akpanso on Sunday, RETAW said revoking the licenses of 52 television and radio stations and directing their total shutdown implies limiting the possibility of voter education and other electioneering activities. Meanwhile, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to direct the National Broadcasting Commission to withdraw the revocation order on debtor stations. This is contained in the release by the union's General Secretary, Mr. Akpanso in Abuja. Mr. Akpanso described the action by the NBC as untimely. Osun State Southwest Nigeria Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has granted requests of the petitioners in the July 16 global poll the permission to paste the copy of the petition on the notice board of the tribunal. It also granted the permission to inspect all the minerals used all the materials used in the governorship poll. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Tessa Ikume, read the order at the sitting of the tribunal today. The report will come your way later in the course of the bulletin. As the traditional religion worshippers are basking in the euphoria of this year's Isheshe Day celebration, they have been implored to do the needful and let moderation be their guiding principles in all they do. Secretary General Osun State Chapter of the Traditional Religion Worshippers Association of Nigeria, Chief Ifashola Onifade, gave the advice today while exchanging views with OSBC News on the significance of Isheshe Day celebration, while stressing that the day is also known as Universal Day for African Traditional Religion. Chief Onifade maintained that the Isheshe Day is being observed globally with a display of culture and spirituality.
Isheshe Day is paying homage to God Olodumare, paying homage to the spirit of your father, paying homage to the spirit of your mother, paying homage to your holy. Yes, Iseda. In Ogunda Onwani, that is what Ifa tells us. That Isheshe is your mother, Isheshe is your father, Isheshe is your holy, and God Olodumare. So when you are celebrating Isheshe, you are paying homage. And as you pay homage, you pray and request for more blessings. So in Ifa tells us, always remember and respect your father, always remember and respect your mother, always remember and respect your holy, and always remember and respect God Almighty Olodumare.
Chief Onifade, who is also the Ejigbonawo of Edeland, called on all and sundry not to jettison their heritage, tradition, and culture, but rather embraced and cherished it the more for the betterment of the society at large. The chief priest maintained that civilization and modernization should not relegate the rich cultural heritage and traditional of various tribes to the background for the generation yet unborn to see, embrace, and nurture.
It's for us not to throw away our heritage, our culture, our tradition. We should not say because of the civilization and modernization and forget what Olodumare gave us. The issue of Isheshe, the issue of the tradition is not our homemaking. It was given to us by Olodumare. Then why are we saying we want to attract the one that was given to other regions and abandon our home? And that is what we are doing. I will just advise each and every one of us to please accept our whole heritage, accept our tradition, accept our culture. Our culture is not bad. As a Yoruba sons or daughters, you kneel down, you prostrate to greet your father and mother. Nowadays, we don't do that again. Let's go back. Olodumare has reasons for giving us what he gave us. He has reason for it. We are not appreciating God. And I will just advise us to keep on appreciating God, Olodumare.
And back to the story, Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has granted requests of the petitioners in the July 16 Global Poll the permission to place the copy of the petition on the notice board of the tribunal. It also granted the permission to inspect all the materials used in the governorship poll. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Tessa Ikume, read the order at the sitting of the tribunal today. Adeyemi Aboderi has the details.
Answer to the petitioners, Chief Yomi Aliyu SAN had sought for 2 ex parte applications from the tribunal. The first was to grant the petitioner a substituted means to serve the second respondent, Senator Ademola Adeleke, a copy of the petition, since it has become practically difficult to serve him at his residence in Ede and failure to have access to him since the petition was submitted to the tribunal on the 11th of this month. The second was to seek the permission of the tribunal to inspect all the electoral materials used for the July 16 governorship election, as well as the permission to conduct electronic scanning of the voters' registers and ballot papers used for the elections. Both ex parte motions were granted by the tribunal. In granting the service of the petition on the second respondent through a substituted means, the tribunal ordered that the petition should be pasted on the notice board of the tribunal at the High Court Complex, Okefia, Oshogbo. Speaking with newsmen after the sitting, counsel to the governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, and the All Progressive Congress, Chief Yomi Aliyu, expressed the belief that the tribunal will do justice to the petition.
We have trust in them, and we know they will do justice to this petition. That's what we expect. We came here to get justice, and we know we are definitely going to get that.
The chairman of the All Progressive Congress in the state, Prince Adegboyega Famodo, expressed confidence that the tribunal will upturn the result of the election as declared by INEC.
Our legal advisor made us to believe so, that we have a very good case, and as such, we are demanding for justice before the tribunal.
Earlier in his opening remark, Chairman of the Tribunal, Justice Tasia Kume, had assured the parties of the readiness of the tribunal to abide by their oath of office and be fair and just. Chief Yomi Aliyu, who appeared for the first and second petitioners, prayed for wisdom for members of the tribunal to be right and just. Recalled that the All Progressive Congress and the incumbent Governor Adegboyega Oyetola had submitted a petition challenging the result of the July 16 governorship election as declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission on the 11th of this month. OSBC News observed adequate security at the premises of the High Court Complex Okefia Oshogbo, venue of the tribunal sitting. Adeyemi Aboderin, OSBC News.
This is the World at Noon, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. Voice of the West. Now, our news. You may not have been responsible for your heritage, but you are responsible for your future. Be aware of what you do today. Singapore will repeal a law that bans gay sex, effectively making it legal to be homosexual in the city-state. The decision, announced by Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong on national TV, comes after years of fierce debate. The city-state is known for its conservative values, but in recent years, an increasing number of people have called for the colonial-era 377A law to be abolished. Singapore is the latest place in Asia to move on lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender rights after India, Taiwan, and Thailand. The daughter of a close ally of Russia's president, Ms. Daya Dugina, has been killed in a suspected car bombing. The 29-year-old Ms. Dugina died after an explosion on a road outside Moscow. She thought her father, the Russian philosopher Mr. Alexander Dugin, who is known as Putin's brain, may have been the intended target of the attack. Mr. Dugin and his daughter had been at a festival near Moscow where the philosopher gave a lecture. The pair were due to leave the venue in the same car before Mr. Dugin reportedly made a decision at the last minute to travel separately. Investigators confirmed that Ms. Dugina, who was driving the car, died at the scene. Investigation has it that an explosive device planted under the car went off and the vehicle caught fire. Forensic and explosive experts are investigating on the matter. And here again are the highlights of the world at noon. Nigeria Osun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has granted the petitioners in the July 16 gubernatorial poll the permission to paste the copy of the petition on the notice board of the tribunal. Singapore will repeal a law that bans gay sex, effectively making it legal to be homosexual in the city-state. The daughter of a close ally of Russia's president, Ms. Daya Dugina, has been killed in a suspected car bombing. That was the World at Noon, edited by Olushola Egbodofo. In today's news talk entitled Nigerian Youths of Today are Leaders of Tomorrow, hence they must be empowered for sustainable development at all levels, should empower Nigerian youths for attaining greater heights in life. Contemporary English, otherwise known as Living English, a youth is someone who is a teenager. But in Nigerian context, a youth is any person, male or female, between the age of 15 to 35 years. A youth is a bundle of energy, articulate, intelligent, tuberculous, procreating, inexperienced, and more often than not stubborn, and always basking in an aura of youthful exuberance. According to the former United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Kofi Annan, who once said, "No one is born a good citizen, no nation is born even a democracy. Rather, both are processes that continue to evolve over a lifetime. Young people must be included from birth and carried along in the developmental processes. A society that calls itself off its youth severes its lifeline. Nigeria as a country is a very unique, pluralistic, and multi-ethnic society with over 250 distinct ethnic groups and over 400 languages and dialects. Today, hence, Nigerian youth is faced with incorrect indices, which, if attended to correctly, will definitely empower them. In Nigeria, and unlike some advanced countries of the world, a sizable percentage of Nigerian youths have no Western education. Majority did not have the opportunity of seeing the four walls of the school. Newstock believes they are into various trades ranging from motor mechanic to carpentry, bricklaying, and many more. Those who took pains to have Western education are somehow disappointed, as majority are not employed. Many are searching all over for jobs that are not there. Newstock posits that some, out of frustration, took up police and military duties with higher qualifications but ended up being employed as recruits. Those who wanted to try their hands on self-conceived ventures were not empowered. Either those who are lucky to be empowered diverted the fund, stressing that the fund is part of their share of national cake. The resultant effect of limited access to employment is mass drift to cities, most especially Lagos, Abuja, and other big cities in the country, with little or no hope of survival. Majority of them ended up in the devil's workshop. Newstock recalls that some Nigerian youths are exposed to negative Western culture. The coming of the Europeans has bastardized Nigerian culture to the extent of turning found to treat Nigerian culture with disdain. What we see now is everything Europeans. European food, dressing, religion, and language. Even there is craze for European jobs. Most Nigerian youths respond to European visa lottery with the hope that if one propelled them to white man's land to do white man's job, which is another method of slavery. Slave trade was abolished in 1789 by a motion moved by William Wilberforce in the British House of Parliament. The transatlantic slave trade of 18th century has resurfaced in modern form. Everything European is idolized and worshipped by Nigerian youths. Newstock stresses that there is no spirit of nationalism and no sense of belonging anymore in the country. The only thing that gives sense of belonging in Nigeria now is football match, when Nigerians see themselves as Nigerians. Newstock believes that in order to empower Nigerian youth for sustainable development, government should endeavor to put in place vocational-oriented education with emphasis on information and communication technologies, capacity building, entrepreneurship, and skill acquisition for decent employment. The non-governmental organizations and stakeholders should organize advocacy and value orientation together with the funding of entrepreneurship initiatives. Leisure time activities should be created to occupy the youth, as an idle hand is a devil's workshop. Newstock is of the opinion that the establishment of cadet corps will be a panacea for occupying the youth. Countries of the world need to invest in young people's development. Globally, stakeholders and those in governance are not even meeting the needs of the present, let alone considering the needs of future generation, and unless stakeholders start to make real progress towards reconciling those contradictions, Newstock believes that Nigerian youth will face a future that is less certain and less secure, a situation where everybody will be to himself and God for us all. That Newstock, entitled Nigerian Youths of Today are the Leaders of Tomorrow, ends. They must be empowered for sustainable development. Guest writer Adwa Diamo is of the opinion that government at all levels should endeavor to empower Nigerian youths for attaining greater feat in life through hard work. For more about us, you can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.